I'm Ashby, and this is Ashby Farms. Located in Burlington, North Carolina, it's now our 5th season. And we are supported by friends, family, and the best community around.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ashby with Ashby Farms again, and today I'm in what used to be my greenhouse, but I haven't really had a need for it this year. And with that, I'm going to be planting out this area today in peppers. So currently, last year this was basil and peppers, and the way I do my peppers, I burn holes in the weed matting. There's 1 foot of spacing between each hole, and they're about 1 foot apart on the row. So in this 4 foot wide piece of weed matting here, you've got a double row of peppers. And so what I did last year, I overlapped. This is the piece here, it's about a foot overlap there, and these 2 rows were too close together. So this greenhouse is 16 feet wide, and I've got 3 foot wide and 4 foot wide weed matting. So last year in here with the basil, what I did is I took the 3 foot wide weed matting and I did a 3, 3, and 3, so it was 9 foot wide of weed matting. I used to do the lettuce in this weed matting here. So with that, I went through and I hand seeded a lot of basil seeds, and as you can see, it came up really well. And then when coronavirus hit, or COVID hit, then all the restaurants kind of shut down, and that was a big part of my business. And given the fact that restaurants are still recovering and not really buying a lot of basil, even still in my area, then I've decided this year I'm just going to do a lot of bell peppers in here. So the idea is going to be 4 pieces of weed matting 4 foot wide each. And so what I got to do today is pull up all this weed matting that used to be the basil, plus this second row, what used to be bell peppers, and redesign it. So in that, my plan is pull it all up, use my stirrup hoe, clean up all the area. All this old organic matter here will become good compost, and I've got some rabbit manure that I'm going to put down that my dad had given me from his rabbit farm, and then we'll get the drip line set and then put weed matting back, and then after that I'll be planting peppers through today and tomorrow. Alright guys, so I've tried to film 3 times now, but the weatherman got it wrong again. The wind is currently blowing maybe 15 steady, and we're getting gusts of up to 20-25 miles an hour. So with that being said, I'm going to come in the greenhouse here, and hopefully you guys can hear me on this 3rd take. So just to kind of recap what I did, I pulled up all the old weed matting. I ran a lawnmower down through there just to chop up all that organic matter that was all bunched up. That way it can more easily compost. The next thing that I did was because I'm a no-till farm, sometimes, you know, they call it no-till or low-till. All I did was take my stirrup hoe and go down through each bed and stirrup hoe. That way I can go ahead and break up any weeds that might be growing in it, as well as just kind of disturb the top, maybe 1 foot of the, or I'm sorry, 1 inch of the soil, just to kind of get it loose. The reason I want to do that is I was going to go ahead and put down a lot of fertilizers, which I did, and I'll recap that here in just a second. But the fertilizer needs to be able to work its way down into the soil. So the 4 things that I put down, I have a granular fertilizer, just something I had left over, and I'm trying to use that stuff up, stuff I've had from the last couple of years. And that was a starter fertilizer from the lawn. It's a 18-24-12. So the 18 and 24, 18 will help the nitrogen, which helps grow the canopy and all the leaves, and the 24 helps the root system go ahead and develop early. The next thing I put down is a product called Milorganite, which is from Southern States, and basically it's a 15-00, so it's high in nitrogen, but the other thing is it's high in calcium. And the third thing I did was go ahead and sprayed a chelated calcium, or chelated calcium, however you pronounce that. But all that is an organically available calcium, and I went ahead and put it on the soil today. And then in the third of the 4 rows of peppers that are going to be out there, I put a bunch of rabbit manure that my dad had given me from his rabbit farm that he's got. So that'll kind of be a test row to see if the rabbit manure really does help out or not. But in discussing some of the elements and nutritional needs of the plants in the Solanaceae family, which are eggplants, peppers, and tomatoes, when the plants call on a certain nutrient, that nutrient needs to be readily available in the soil, like right then. There's no playing catch up. You have to start over. It's going to happen next year. So I like to give more nutrients to the soil year after year, and that way my soil is getting better every year. But that first row in the greenhouse last year where I grew peppers, it showed a lot of blossom end rot towards the end of the season, which shows me I had a calcium deficiency. So 2 things. One, I can go ahead and prep the ground this year with starting with calcium, and the other thing, I need to be more on top of my spray schedules, spraying once a week, a chelated calcium spray that they can take up foliarly through the leaves, and that way we don't show any blossom end rot again this year, because of course if you get blossom end rot on your peppers, they don't sell, they rot really quick, and then all this work is for nothing. The next step here, I'm testing out the drip lines. I went ahead and set up the drip in place, so I'm going to go ahead and test it out, see if I've got any pinhole leaks, if there's anything I need to fix. And whenever you're putting weed matting down and you're burning holes in and then you're planting through that, anything that you're gonna do for the plants needs to happen today, like right now, because once you cover it up, there's no fixing it. There's no pulling up the weed matting because you disturb every plant. So I learned that the hard way in the years past. So part of today is making sure that the drip is good, everything organically is good in the soil is good to go. Of course, some things like fertilizer I do feed through the drip system as well, through the drip lines, but I want to go ahead and give these plants a head start. And so whether it's on an organic product like the rabbit manure and the Milorganite, which even though it's organic, it takes a while to break down. You know, the earthworms have to bring it into the soil. Whereas the 18-24-12 fertilizer, that's going to be readily available pretty quick. The other benefit of putting down the black weed matting like that is it constantly stays moist under there. So I don't have to water quite as often, but like twice a week. So once a week I do with fertilizer and once a week I do without. And I pretty much fertilize everything on the farm once a week. But yeah, that's a wrap. So at this point I'm gonna go check my drip system, make sure we don't have any pinholes, fix any of those, and then go grab some lunch. After lunch, come back, put out some weed matting, and then we're gonna start planting plants this evening. All right, y'all, so I've been at it most of the day out here, and I've got all my weed matting down. Got 4 total rows. So these are 75-foot long rows. So there's basically 8 75 plant rows, which works out to be about 600 plants, give or take, in here. So basically just using my drill with the auger, and unlike the tomatoes, you don't have to be super deep. Maybe the holes on these are gonna be about 6 inches or so. And then that way the plug can just drop right in. So that's what I'll be doing next. Alrighty guys, well that's a full day's work out here at Ashby Farms. Again, I'm Ashby. I thank you for watching. This is my how to plant peppers video. So from here, as you can see, some of these plants, because they've been stressed, they've lost their lower leaves, and it's actually a good thing. It'll allow more airflow, and it makes easier work for me that I don't have to go back and trim them so much when they're down low, but they'll come back just fine. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you like my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button if you like the video. Thanks for watching.